What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight! Okay, we're coming back to the Warning. Yes, indeed, the Warning Fans Feeling You. Come on now. Here we go. This is a request from Augustin Magnari, Robert Ott, Juan Antonio, Akim E., and this was also the winner of the Patreon Request Prioritization Bowl with 59% of the vote, moving from number 648 in the queue straight up to number 1. So there you go, folks. Your voice does matter. Your vote does count, and it always helps. They all wanted to see me react to this song by The Warning called Stalker. Have I heard the song before? No, I have not heard the song before. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, okay, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This was posted by The Warning, okay? And the video has 112,765 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Stalker, The Warning, live at Lunario. Yes, we're coming back to Lunario. I've done a few reactions to songs from this show. Very cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
What an unusual approach. Slower piano intro. Really nicely done, by the way. Great playing on her part. Not too heavy on the hands, not too heavy on the keys. Just nice, light, with good lift. Felt really good. And then when they go into the main riff, the actual song, it kicks in and the tempo immediately accelerates. Unusual. Not unheard of. I mean, I've heard a number of songs that have done the same thing, but that's not what people would typically call common practice. Usually, when you have an intro like that, you want to have the song come out of the intro and into the main song at the same tempo. Usually. Now, like I said, not unheard of. I've heard other songs do it. It's just not common practice. But it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Cannot take my eyes off of Ale. I'm sorry. She is so much fun to watch. And it just, oh, God. It feels so good to watch her play, man. It does. Brings me back to my youth. Oh, God. I miss playing on stage. Dear Lord! I need to get back on tour. I really do. Anyway. Let's keep going here, shall we?
Come see you, I'm obsessed with what we both could be. The possibility. It's crazy, all I need to happen is crazy. It's enough to happen, yes or no, whichever. I'll have you someday, I'll have you forever. Look at me, my dear. Look at me, my dear. I love you so. What don't you know that say I'm yours, my dear. Say I'm yours, my dear. I'll lock the door before you go. Say it again. It's crazy. It's crazy. Mama, I want you. It's crazy. Oh, you don't even know. It's crazy. How much I think about you. It's crazy. How much I live without you. It's crazy. How my love is to grow. I'm a mess.
Nice,
When it
Phil.
comes to you, I'm obsessed with what we both could be. The possibility. It's crazy. All I need to happen is crazy. You can let me have it, yes or no, whichever. I'll have you someday. Want to love me. Touch me.
You saw on her face, too. She went, oh. Look, okay, I know I don't want people getting mad at me, okay? I need to be very clear when I say this. I'm not laughing at her to try and make fun of her, okay? I'm not. I'm laughing because I have been there. Not for dropping a stick, but like dropping a pick or having a string break or, you know, having the sheet music fall off the stand or whatever, you know, whatever the case may be. Something happens and you don't mean to show it. You really don't. And you do your best not to. But when it just happens, your natural instinct is to go, oh crap. So seeing her drop the stick right there and having the look on her face like, oh dang. And I was like, oh yeah, I've been there. No, but here's the thing. And here's the cool thing though. And I've seen her do this before. Did she drop the stick? Yes. I can't think of a single drummer who has never dropped a stick. Everybody has dropped a stick at some point as a drummer, okay? I've worked with so many different drummers, and I've seen every single one of them drop the sticks multiple times during the course of a show. It happens. Your hands get sweaty, and they have a finish on them, so of course they're going to slide. They're going to slip around, and you're going to end up dropping them. It happens, okay? I'm not knocking her for it. I'm not. I'm actually about to give her some praise right here. She dropped the stick, right? You saw in her face, she went, oh no. But if you were listening, did anything happen? Did anything happen to what she was playing? Did her playing fall apart? Did her playing, go down the toilet? No, nothing was affected. Nothing. She went, oh no, I dropped the stick, reached down, grabbed the new one, and came right back in without missing a single beat. How cool is that? I know a lot of drummers. I know a lot of adult drummers who have been drumming for 10 years plus, 20 years plus. They can't do that. They drop a stick, they reach for the stick, and something happens. Something falls off. Something falls behind. They miss a hit, or they start to drag, or something like that, or they get off, and all you hear is kick while they're reaching for their stick. I cannot tell you how impressed I am with the maturity level and the professionalism of these girls. It really is amazing to see the level of professionalism and the level of dedication and discipline that these girls are demonstrating at this age. And they're just getting better, which is frightening if you think about it. Can you imagine how good these girls are going to be in 10 years? Dear Lord. No, I laughed because I can relate. I laughed because I've been there and done that and had that look on the face happen. So I'm not making fun of her. I promise. I promise I'm not making fun of her. Whoops. But without missing a beat. Back to piano. Nice.
Look at me, my dear. I love you so, 'cause I am yours and you are mine.
Yeah. That was good. It was really good. Let me think about it, and I will see you in the review. We'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was The Warning with Stalker. This was a request from Augustin Magnari, Robert Ott, Juan Antonio, Akim E., and this was the winner of the Patreon request prioritization poll with 59% of the vote, moving from number 648 in the queue straight to number 1. So there you go. Yes, your vote does count. Absolutely it does. Every single vote counts. I got a score here, and I feel the score is appropriate. I feel this is the score the song deserves. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give that an 8.3. Yep, 8.3. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. If I'm being honest here, the song itself, it's not the best song I've heard from them, but it's not the worst. It's not at the bottom of the bell. I would put this just maybe a tad under halfway. Where just like on a scale of like 1 to 100, I would put this at like number 48. You know, out of their list of songs out of their library that I've heard so far. It's just a tiny bit under mid-range. Now, does that mean that the song is bad? No, it does not mean the song is bad. Trust me, if the song was bad, this would be down in like the 2s or the 1s, you know? No, this is not a bad song. It's a great song. Just not their strongest by any stretch. You know, not even close to their strongest. But it's still a great song. I love the piano intro. And I love the fact that they came around full circle and they ended how they began. I love it when bands do that with songs. Now, do I want every single song from every single band to finish how it starts? No, of course not. That would be extremely repetitive and it would get old very quick. But I do love it when I do hear a band throw a song out there into the mix where it does end how it started. I love it when bands are able to pull it off and pull it off well. And they did it very well here. Coming out of the intro into the song, with the acceleration in tempo, the immediate acceleration in tempo, the certain jump, not unheard of. It's not unheard of. I've heard other bands do it before, but it's not commonplace. Usually bands think very linearly when it comes to tempo, not necessarily key or time changing, but in the case of tempo, the actual speed of the song, usually bands tend to think very linearly and not change. No acceleration, no deceleration. So it was interesting hearing that. It wasn't bad. I wasn't ready for it. And I'm not used to it. So, but it's not a bad thing. Pal's drumming on this, very well done, very tasteful. Love the fills, and I'm gonna be honest. I gotta give her props for recovering the way that she did. I know I laughed, and I know a lot of people probably got upset when I laughed, thinking that I was laughing at her or I was making fun of her. Guys, if you know anything about me, you know I'm not that kind of a person. I usually 9 times out of 10, I laugh because it's something I can relate to. It's somewhere I've been. It's something I've done. And seeing someone else do it, doesn't matter how old they are, but seeing someone else do it, it makes me feel like I've been there, I've done that. I can relate, okay? It feels good. What really impressed me, though, was her recovery. She dropped it. She made the face. She's like, oop. You know, and look, when you train yourself not to make that face. You train yourself to be stone-faced and pretend like nothing's wrong. But the reality is, when it actually does happen, A, you're not ready for it. B, it's not a good thing. So it kind of throws you off and it goes, you know. But what impressed me was how quickly she recovered. And when the process of recovery, while she was reaching for her stick, nothing, and I mean nothing, changed in her playing. Not a single thing. I cannot tell you how many drummers I have played with, and some of these drummers have been playing for over 20 years. They can't do that. When they reach for a stick, you will feel their tempo slow down. You will feel their playing fall apart. They may stop playing altogether and just rely on kick. Ugh, God, I hate it when that happens. Not her. She reached down, grabbed a stick, came back in like nothing happened. If I hadn't seen it, here's what it comes down to. If I hadn't seen it on the video, I would never have guessed in a million years that she ever dropped a stick. If the camera had been on Ale or the camera had been on Danny when that happened, I would never have known. That is the sign of a true professional. So, good for her. Great recovery skills. Speaking of Ale, I cannot take my eyes off her. Every time the camera shows her in any way, shape, or form, my eyes are immediately drawn to her. I love watching the evolution. I remember watching when she was really young, when she was like 10, you know, and the bass was bigger than her, and watching her over the years come more and more out of her shell. When she was 10, really young, she was stiff, she was rigid, she was nervous. And look, when you're playing for the first time in front of a crowd, most people, 99, well, I wouldn't say 99, but 95% of people are going to be nervous and they're going to be stiff. It's going to happen. But watching her progress and come out of her shell and really start to kind of evolve and define herself as a performer, and more importantly than that, define her stage persona. It's been a real treat, man. It really has. It brought me back to my youth. It brought me back to when I wasn't as young as her. I started playing bass when I was 14. But, you know, I didn't know anything about playing bass, honestly, at 14. I knew very little, but that's where I started to learn. I didn't really start to come into the bass until I was about 15. But watching her grow and watching her progress and watching her develop her stage persona and her her character, it reminds me very much of myself and my journey as well. So it has been an absolute joy to watch her progress. And her playing is rock solid. I mean, it's not super fancy, but look, it doesn't need to be. You know, she doesn't need to be, you know, Kim Stone. She doesn't need to be John Myung. She doesn't need to be Cliff Burton. She doesn't need to be John Patitucci or Stanley Clark. She doesn't need to be any of these people. What she's doing with the band, perfect. It works perfectly. It sounds just fine. She's got great taste too in her lead-ins. I love those lead-ins that she does. And I heard some great lead-ins in this song. Danny on this, her guitar playing, really nicely done, super solid. Her vocals sounded really good too. I think if I remember correctly, when they were playing this show, it was either this show or there was another show, but they were up in a higher elevation, and the atmosphere was a little thin. And I can tell you from experience, man, when you play in those higher altitudes, singing is not easy. Getting a full breath is not easy. So being able to sing is like 10 times harder. So I think it was this show that she was at the higher elevation. Or was this a show where she was sick? There were two shows that I've seen. One they were in a higher elevation and one that she was sick in. I'm not sure which one this was, but you would never tell. She sounded just fine. Really impressed with her piano playing in this. Really impressed. Very light, great lift, not heavy-handed, not striking the keys too hard or getting too much of an accent out of each note. Just playing very fluidly, very nicely. I absolutely dug that. What they did was far more impressive than the song itself. Like I said, as far as the song goes, like I said, it was a really good song. I would not go as far as to say it was one of their best by any stretch. I also wouldn't say it's their weakest. It's kind of middle of the road, maybe a little under middle of the road. But what they did on stage and how they performed and how they sounded and what they played sounded really good. It sounded fantastic. And that is why we're at the 8.3. So, 8.3, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, that did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys feel like ringing the bell, then go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference to me, but if you feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.